Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to look at a space you probably interact with every single day. But let's be honest, you completely underestimate it. I'm talking about your desk drawer. Our goal today is to take that overlooked storage space and transform it into a highly effective productivity toolkit. By the time we wrap up, you'll see food not just as a quick fix for a grumbling stomach, but as a strategic asset for your workday. Okay, let's dive into this.
We've all been there, right? It hits 2 p.m., you're staring blankly at your monitor, your eyelids feel like they weigh 10 pounds, and you are really regretting that massive slice of cake or that ultra-sweet coffee you grabbed an hour ago. We naturally rely on those convenient little treats to push us through the midday slump, but paradoxically, those exact choices are literally what cause us to crash. It's an incredibly common cycle, but listen, it absolutely does not have to be your reality.
To fix this, we need a game plan. Think of this as your blueprint for surviving the workday without a crash. We're going to cover 5 things. Number 1, the desk snack trap. 2, the science of stable energy. 3, 8 energy-boosting snacks. 4, portioning and snacking schedules. And finally, number 5, small investments, long-term impact. All right, starting with section 1, the desk snack trap. Let's just acknowledge the reality of the modern office environment for a second. It is practically designed from the ground up to work against our natural energy rhythms. Picture your typical Tuesday. You're sitting there for hours on end. Deadlines are mounting, the pressure is on. Your brain is just burning through fuel, desperately trying to maintain high concentration. Under that kind of intense pressure, what happens? Instinct totally takes over. You don't have time to prep a nice, balanced meal, so you default to whatever is fastest and closest. We're talking fried foods, sweet cakes from the break room, or those high-salt snacks from the vending machine down the hall. It's basically a survival response to corporate stress, but the problem is, it's fundamentally the wrong kind of fuel for the job. That brings us to section 2, the science of stable energy. To really understand why that's the wrong fuel, we need to shift our perspective a bit. Think about your brain as a high-performance engine. And like any high-performance engine, it requires a very specific, highly stable type of fuel to fire on all cylinders without sputtering out. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what happens when we choose the wrong fuel. When you consume high sugar or simple carbs, think boba tea or a sweet pastry, your blood glucose spikes almost instantly. You feel invincible for about 20 minutes, but then comes the inevitable, brutal sugar crash that leads to dizziness, fatigue, and a complete loss of focus. On the flip side, low glycemic snacks like granola or nuts provide slow-release energy. They keep your blood sugar incredibly stable, which means your brain keeps firing steadily and reliably all day long. But here is where it gets really fascinating. Snacking isn't just about physical energy, it is a powerful biochemical tool for your mental well-being. Take serotonin, for example. It's an absolutely crucial hormone for stabilizing your mood. Foods rich in the vitamin B complex, like bananas, actually support the production of serotonin. So eating the right snack is quite literally giving your brain the chemical building blocks it needs to keep your mood steady when you're under pressure. And hey, let's talk about magnesium for a second. Found abundantly in things like almonds and dark chocolate, magnesium actively helps lower your body's stress hormone levels. When the office pressure hits a boiling point, magnesium acts as a biological buffer, protecting your nervous system. So you see, you aren't just feeding your stomach, you're actively managing your workplace stress through chemistry. Pretty cool, right? So, knowing the science, what exactly should you be stocking in that desk drawer? Let's move to section 3. 8 energy-boosting snacks. Think of this as your elite desk menu lineup. First, almonds are your go-to for super stable energy. Greek yogurt is fantastic for quick energy that actually keeps you full. Cut fruit provides that natural sweetness and fiber to curb those sugary cravings. Now, low-sugar oatmeal. This is a brilliant tactical choice. If you work in one of those freezing, over-air-conditioned offices, it's warm and keeps our blood sugar flat. Dark chocolate sharpens your focus. Boiled edamame gives you low-calorie plant protein. Wheat biscuits offer complex carbs. And finally, cut veggies with hummus give you that satisfying crunch that actively prevents you from dozing off at your keyboard. Now, what's really interesting about this is that not all chocolate is going to give you those benefits we just talked about. If you're going to use dark chocolate to sharpen your focus and boost your mood, it needs to have at least a 70% cocoa content. Anything less than that, well, you're just eating candy, which puts you right back into the sugar crash trap we want to avoid. Quality really, really matters here. All right, so now we know what to eat, but implementation is everything, right? Let's shift our focus to section 4, portion and snacking schedules. I want you to burn this rule into your memory.
The goal is maintaining energy, not feeling overly full and sleepy. Healthy snacks, especially things like nuts, can be surprisingly calorie-dense. If you sit there and mindlessly eat a massive bag of almonds, your body has to divert energy to digest them, and you're going to end up feeling sluggish anyway. Strict portion control is the key to getting the benefits without the lethargy. We're talking small handfuls, little jars. Keep it light. So, when should you reach for those small portions? 10 a.m. is your first critical window. This is usually when the energy from your breakfast starts to dip, but you are still hours away from lunch. Having a small snack here acts as a perfect nutritional bridge, preventing your focus from drifting right in the middle of those important mid-morning meetings. And then we have 3 p.m., the notorious afternoon slump. This is when your body's circadian rhythm naturally dips. A strategic snack at 3 p.m. isn't just a luxury, it's practically a requirement to keep your work rhythm steady and productive right up until quitting time. To make this completely effortless during a busy week, you really need a system. Try this simple 3-step weekend ritual. 1. Buy your healthy snacks in bulk. Roasted nuts, Greek yogurt, wheat bread. 2. Portion them out into small jars or containers at home. And 3. Bring them in on Monday and store them securely in your desk drawer. Boom! You've just eliminated the friction. When that 3 p.m. slump hits, your productivity asset is sitting right there, ready to go. As we wrap up, let's look at the big picture in Section 5, Small Investments, Long-Term Impact. We've talked a lot today about just surviving the workday, but these daily choices ripple out into something much, much bigger, your overall long-term health. So, the crucial point is this. The default office lifestyle of prolonged sitting, combined with high-calorie, high-salt, and high-sugar snacking, is a direct pipeline to chronic health issues. We are talking about significantly increased risks of obesity, hypertension, high cholesterol, and type 2 diabetes. By skipping those convenient but harmful snacks, you aren't just saving your afternoon focus, you are actively protecting your future self from some very serious metabolic conditions. Now, I know this can sound a bit daunting, but I want to reassure you, drastic overhauls usually fail. Actually, you do not need to throw away everything in your pantry tonight. Start small. Commit to swapping out just 1 or 2 unhealthy snacks a week. Replace the Tuesday afternoon cookie with a handful of almonds. Next week, try bringing in some fresh fruit. Small, consistent changes are the exact mechanism for building natural, sustainable habits that actually last. You now have the science, the menu, and the strategy. The only thing left is action. So I'm going to leave you with a challenge for Monday morning. Which unhealthy office snack will you swap out from your desk drawer this week? Make the choice, set up your space, and just watch your focus transform. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and stay focused out there.